How long have I been sick? How long stuck in this bed? How long will I wait? How long? How long have I been sick? How long stuck in this bed? How long will I wait? How long? How long have I been sick? How long stuck in this bed? How long will I wait? How long? Hello, friends. Welcome to Sunday Psalm Prayer. I'm Richard Bruxvoort Colligan for Olive Branch Community, and glad to have you with us. We're working our way through the Psalms, and we're up to Psalm 6, which I got to tell you, it's a little hard to promote an event for Psalm 6 because it is a miserable psalm. Well, maybe the best way to say it is it's a faithful prayer by someone who is miserably ill, deathly ill. As you tune in here today, as you're watching this, you might be in pain, in physical pain, and confusion that often goes along with that of the mind. You might have someone dear to you that is struggling with physical illness. You might have neighbors that deal with chronic pain. Well, this is a psalm, a faithful prayer. Listen to me now. A faithful prayer when life just seems awful. Awful. Not only is the psalmist clearly in pain because she describes her bones shaking and weeping for grief, but there's also mention of enemies. Like on top of insult to injury, there are enemies also. What's happening there, I wonder? Well, today it's Psalm 6. As we begin, here's a poem by Marge Piercy. It's called What It Costs. Would you take a deep breath with me? What It Costs by Marge Piercy. Now it costs to say I will survive. Now when my words coat my clenched teeth with blood. Now, when I have been yanked off love like a diver whose hose is cut, I push against the dizzying onslaught of heavy, dark water, up or down, while the heart kicks like a strangled rabbit and the lungs buckle like poor balloons. I will survive. I will lift the leaden coffin lid of the surface and thrust my face into the air. I will feel the sun's rough tongue on my face. Then I'll start swimming toward the coast that must somewhere blur the horizon with wheeling birds. And before we hear the psalm text, as usual, I wonder if you would sing with me. This is one of my favorite Marty Haugen songs called Healer of Our Every Ill. And I'm going to put the words, if you care to join me, you might catch on, but I'm also going to put the words in the chat here. All right. So this would be a faithful prayer. Psalm 6 is a faithful prayer when someone is discouraged and in pain in every way. This is This Marty Haugen song is a prayer for healing and wholeness. Healer of our every ill, light of each tomorrow, give us peace beyond our fear and hope beyond our sorrow. Together. Healer of our every ill, light of each tomorrow, give us peace beyond our fear and hope beyond our sorrow. Yeah, I got a verse. You who know our fears and sadness, grace us with your peace and gladness. Spirit of all comfort, fill our hearts. Healer of our every ill, healer of our every ill, light of each tomorrow, give us peace beyond our fear and hope beyond our sorrow. In the pain and joy beholding how your grace is still unfolding, give us all your vision, God of love. Healer of our every ill, light of each tomorrow, give us peace beyond our fear and hope beyond our sorrow. Give us strength to love each other, every sister, every brother. Spirit of all kindness, be our guide. Healer of our every ill, healer of our every ill, light of each tomorrow, give us peace beyond our fear and hope beyond our sorrow. You who know each thought and feeling, teach us all your way of healing. Spirit of compassion, fill each heart. Healer of our every ill, healer of our every ill, light of each tomorrow, give us peace beyond our fear and hope beyond our sorrow. There are some among us that are in pain right now today, and you might be one of those. Can we sing this together for all who are in pain? Healer of our every ill, light of each tomorrow, give us peace beyond our fear and hope beyond our sorrow. Thank you for singing. That's Healer of Our Every Ill by Marty Haugen, published by GIA. Today's Psalm, Psalm 6. I'll read it twice as usual with a little prompt in between for you to consider. As many of the Psalms, this one starts with a superscript, a little note. It goes like this: to the leader with stringed instruments, according to the Shemineth, A Psalm of David. I'll be reading today from the Common English Bible. Please, O Holy One, don't punish me when you are angry. Don't discipline me when you are furious. Have mercy on me, Holy One, because I am frail. Heal me, Living One, because my bones are shaking in terror. My whole body is completely terrified. But you, Holy One, how long will this last? Come back to me, Living One. Deliver me. Save me for the sake of your faithful love. No one is going to praise you when they are dead. Who gives you thanks from the grave? I'm worn out from groaning. Every night I drench my bed with tears. I soak my couch all the way through. My vision fails because of my grief. It's weak because of all my distress. Get away from me, all you evildoers, because the Holy One has heard me crying. The Living One has listened to my request. The Lord accepts my prayer. All my enemies will be ashamed and completely terrified. They will be defeated and ashamed instantly. When we are suffering in any way, sometimes it feels easy enough just to pretend that God is not present. The psalmist even uses images in this text and others about when things are terrible, when things are miserable, when we are suffering, it's as if God isn't here. Or maybe even worse, it's as if God is here but not listening, like God has turned God's back, or God is so angry that God is furious, and maybe we're being punished. Maybe God's wrath is even the reason for our suffering. These are complicated things. So even when we are in the midst of suffering, it's hard sometimes to acknowledge that God is in the midst of such pain, illness, violence, death, injustice. It's not easy. I'm going to read this a second time. I wonder who comes to mind for you as I read this. If this is a prayer about suffering and physical illness, maybe it is a voice for you today. Or maybe the psalmist's voice is for someone you love who is suffering. Maybe it's for a neighbor with chronic pain. You might even imagine that Jesus Christ, who probably had this psalm memorized, since it's from the prayer book of ancient Israel, and these ancient songs were part of temple worship. Maybe Jesus prayed this on Thursday night or Friday, or who knows? Maybe we are sharing a prayer with Jesus. Psalm 6. Please, Holy One, don't punish me when you are angry. Don't discipline me when you are furious. Have mercy on me, O Holy One, because I am frail. Heal me, Living One, because my bones are shaking in terror. My whole body is completely terrified. But you, Holy One, how long will this last? Come back to me, Lord. Deliver me. Save me for the sake of your faithful love. No one is going to praise you when they are dead. Who gives you thanks from the grave? I'm worn out from groaning. Every night I drench my bed with tears. I soak my couch all the way through. My vision fails because of my grief. It's weak because of all my distress. Get away from me, all you evildoers, because the Lord has heard me crying. The Holy One has listened to my request. The Living One accepts my prayer. All my enemies will be ashamed and completely terrified. They will be defeated and ashamed instantly. A little reflection. And then we'll move into a song and then finally prayer together. I guess I went on a little bit in between the readings already with some reflection. What we need to talk about with this psalm is the psalmist uses language, God, you must be angry. Don't ignore me because you're furious. Are you punishing me? Is that what this is? Cancer? This is happening in my body, this infection? I would say, I'm going to go out on a theological limb here and say this is a model of God that is obsolete. We don't tend to imagine God these days as like a Greek god, like Zeus or Poseidon, or somebody who is very emotional and whose whim might mean rage, and so flinging a lightning bolt down on us. That would mean that we could simply engage in some sort of sacrifice to please God, to change God's mind. In this text, it seems like the psalmist is asking God to change God's mind. It uses the word repent, God. Repent, come back to me, and deliver me. And save me for the sake of what? Your love. The psalmist is completely convinced of God's love for her, but she's not really feeling it. So that's what this bold prayer is about. It's about the intimacy and trust of a real relationship. How is that for you in the midst of this